Welcome to class, students. Welcome to physics class. On the board, we have the topic fundamental and derived quantities and units. Okay, this is one of the most interesting topics, foundational topics in physics, and every student must pay attention to. Okay, so when we talk about fundamental and derived quantities, there are two terms here. We have the fundamental quantities and units. We have the derived quantities and units. Okay, so fundamental quantities are the basic quantities and the basic units upon which other units are dependent, which means that other units depends, they are derived, they are being coined out from fundamental units. Okay, where on the other hand, derived units are units which are metamorphosized, or they are derived, they are gotten from the fundamental unit, from simple combination of fundamental units. Okay, so we have a question on the board, which is one of the most important questions that comes out in physics under this particular topic. The question says, calculate the speed of a car that travels 120 kilometers in 2 hours. Calculate the speed of a car that travels 120 kilometers in 2 hours. To answer every question as a student, you must pay attention to the question. Try to understand what the question is asking of. Understand what method or principles that works for that question. Okay, so in this question, we have to calculate speed. So we are looking for speed. That is the parameter we are looking for. The formula for speed is distance all over time. Distance all over time taken. Okay, distance over time taken. Okay, so that is the formula for speed. So in this case, we have the distance in the question as 120 kilometers, and we have our time taken as 2 hours. Okay, so you may not need to convert, you don't have to convert in this case, except the question says otherwise. So what do we do? 2 here, 1, 2 in 120 is 60. So our answer is what? 60 kilometers per hour. So that's the question, that's the answer to that question. So on the other part of the board here, we have another question which is saying a current of 2 amperes flows through a wire for 10 seconds. How much of charge flows through the wire? So in this case here, the solution to this question is going to be, so for us to look at the question very well, we have to understand the question. What is the question talking about? We have the question as a current of 2 amperes flows through a wire for 10 seconds, which means in this case, we are given the current. We have the current as what? 2 amperes. We have the time as what? We have the time as 10 seconds. Okay, so we are asked to find what the amount